All right, so as you can see now, I've upgraded and I've probably just caused some noise with my microphone. And today what I want to talk about is if we have a bigger bag, we are going to fill it with crap. So I had been carrying, so I've done videos on almost all this stuff. What I want to point out is how detrimental a larger bag is. So I definitely always carry my alpaca sling, go sling, whatever sling, awesome sling. I get the 5.5 liter sling. Got a video on this. It's awesome sling. Really, really like it. Everything fits in there great. That is part of my everyday carry to work. And I did have a nice OGO messenger bag, laptop bag. The problem was by the time I put like one pouch in there, put the batteries in there, and something else for work. You got the tech bag, and then I think I had my little Roaring Fire first aid kit bag because who knows, I can be klutzy. We cut stuff at work and stuff like that, and so it was just so bulked out, it was ridiculous. So I got this Dell laptop bag for free, and I'm like, all right, I will use it. So it worked great for the first couple weeks. And then, of course, what do I find? And this is going to be a little bit of a maybe help me figure out a way to pare this thing down. It became a dumping ground. So to start off with, because I got some bank line just in, so for pockets, it's got like two zip side pockets. It's got elastic pockets. I could probably stash my water bottle in there, but going into work, that actually is probably not a bad idea. Just threw some bank line in there because, hey, I could. Over here, there is no elastic, but there still is a zip pocket. And this, which I mostly designed for work, was the VE31. Great little tool pouch that actually fits perfectly in this side. So, other than the bank line probably not needing to be there, so far, so good. So now I go to this front pocket, and I've got a whole mess of this, not terrible, extra batteries and my chapstick with all the survival stuff on it. I forget who had the video idea, but it's an awesome idea. You put some like safety pins and whatnot, just duct tape around the chapstick and put some safety pins. I've got a short on it. Others have done it. It wasn't an original idea. I've got, this has some eye drops. Found this in one of my pouches, and I'm like, well, the eye drops are, I don't want them to go bad. So, of course, what did I do? Instead of putting them in something that was already in here, I just threw this in here. The ruler, not terrible. Pen. Oh, hey, how about that? More batteries. Carabiner. Some real old AirPods, which I hate. Just a bag of bags and a. Oh, these are EDC, little mini EDC pens. Um, oh, hey, I had the Buck warranty card from my mini trapper. I've got Sharpie and some more pens. And wow, more batteries and a USB. And that, I believe, is everything in that pocket. And then I have my Zero Feud with my Spring Made Pure sticker morale patch on there. And then, because I wasn't quite sure, the Buck knives, I wish they had like a little key ring on them, because I've got a deep pocket thing where I can put the key ring on them. But this, basically, I found it in my little Zero Feud fun pouch. So all of that is in the front pocket, little pocket that only goes to right here. And yeah, I got a lot. Stuff all that stuff back in there. And then this is a little embarrassing. So now in this pocket, I've got a Philips Sonicare bag. Got a bunch of different pens in here. I did have the mini trapper in here, the Buck. May put it back in there. Apparently I like pens. Here's some documents because I need to remember the Princess Cruise Lines benefit circle. We've only done one cruise on them. We got another one booked. So I'm well away from jumping up in status, but hey, I must feel it's important to carry that. We got the Roaring Fire first aid pouch. Definitely should be in here. And that was all in, they've got like a front mesh pocket that goes about as far as this front pocket. That was all in that. And then you can see here I got a USB dongle, USB-C to A dongle. And then I've just got some highlighters and pens in here, and hopefully then there is a pocket that goes all the way down. Thankfully I don't have anything there, but I just got pens, Sharpies, highlighters, and whatnot in there. I guess so far, other than way too many pens, it's not looking horrible. Whether the document should be thrown loose in there, I really didn't know what better to do with them, so I just stuffed them in there. One nice thing, this is a dual zip. I don't know if these are YKK zippers, but zippers feel alright. Single zip, of course, on that. Alright, now not the laptop sleeve, but the main compartment. So in here, I've got these pouches. These are just some random pouches on Amazon. If anybody wants links to anything, let me know. It was a 3-pack. It was really cheap. I will say they've got, like grab handles here. Quality on them seems fine. They're a little bigger than a pencil bag. If anybody's interested, I can on anything here except for the Dell bag, because that was just, I don't even remember, I got it for free, so it was all good. But yeah, these really stunk when they were packaged up. Once I let them air out, the stink went away. If you're kind of like scents bother you, you'll just have to open them up and not use them for a little bit, but then the scent goes away. So in here, just a hacky sack, a comb, a marble, and a little, every once in a while I'll wear that little Quelo silicone ring. It's rough to wear that during the summer because it'll, like with the heat, like the skin underneath the ring gets weird, at least for me. So I do like the Quelo ring, but it's not the best in the world for me for summer and during the warm periods of the year. So this probably won't be able to see these, but you can find these at a lot of hardware stores. I used a hacksaw to cut off one side, put Velcro on them. They stick in there. They're little screwdrivers. I've got basically a very small screwdriver bit kit there. I do have all of the Torx bits for working on knives. And I've got my pouch from Croatia. This is a dual-sided pouch, super awesome. It's like a wallet, so you could use one side as a wallet. I think I have 13 or 14 double thick business cards on one side, so this could easily work as a wallet. I do have a video on this. I would highly recommend checking that out if you're interested. It's a great little pouch, and then I've kind of got what used to be my keychain stuff on here, like a little knife. I guess that little Kershaw Cinder. Nice little knife in here, but this has some business card stuff and what used to be my keychain EDC, which I just found kind of pointless. All right. So a lot of this is excess. I do have in that VE31 screwdriver. I do not have Torx bits, so you could make a case that that little screwdriver kit should be in here. So now we've got another one of these, but this one's actually got the power supply, because the power supply, I'll be honest, did not fit in my little Tomtoc tech bag. And then I've got the, so my computer, I get it, we're moving to USB-C. Thing I don't like about my little rant, USB-B, we use them on a lot of our instruments for work. USB-B is probably the most stable connection, probably locks in the best if you're moving an instrument around on a table or something, or even a laptop if laptops use USB-B. The USB-Bs lock in really well. Second to those are USB-As. USB-As are super solid connections. When we're running our instruments, I always had my mouse plugged into the USB-A connecting, and then I was using a USB-C to USB-A dongle to run our instrument. But we ultimately went away from that because we didn't. USB-Cs don't really lock in very well. They have a little bit of flex, which if you're running something crucial that needs constant communication, USB-C I wouldn't recommend. But if that's all you got, like my laptop has 3 USB-C connections and only 1 USB-A, you make do. So my mouse is connected to this, and then I just have a small bag with some work bits and some mostly work bits, and then some USB charge connectors. And as you can see, this stuff, and then the iPad that's sitting there goes somewhere in this bag. When I go to work, I just toss it in. These don't have it in there right now. I do have my headphones. Usually I've got that little, I've got a hockey puck. I don't like the AirPods. I will use them if I need to, but I'm always afraid, and I have had them fall out. I have never lost them, but I would never do them on a plane. I like these, that if they do slip out of my ears, at least they're attached and they will fall somewhere where I can find them, which is just hanging down. We're on a plane. I mean, we've all lost pens, whatnot, and you just say, all right, forget it. It's lost. I don't want to have that with an AirPod, so I am resisting using the AirPods as much as possible. If I get any, I will get the ones with the loops that go around the back of the ear so they don't fall out. And in here, I just have an extra. At work, I've got a cord that plugs in. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. All right. So instead of recycling this, wherever I took it out, I threw the trapper box in there because that's what I do. So I've got my Alpaca Mini Tech Sling, which comes out during the weekend. This is where I will actually carry the Vortec knife that I did a video on that has that really cool bit on there. And if you didn't see that, this is a Budget Knives Can Innovate too. Instead of jimping, they do have jimping up here, but they've got this little cutout here that really locks your thumb in for precise work. And yeah, I would design it a little different. You can watch the video with my design ideas, but it's, I think a lot of knife companies should take a cue from this. This is a super awesome idea from a budget knife. But that will actually ride in here. I'm leaving that out because I got to do a short on it here. But this is kind of my everyday pouch. It's just got stuff that if I want to go somewhere away on a weekend, I've got it. It's got the battery bank with power charge cords. So, and yes, more pens, but it's a standalone as well, so that's why it's got more pens in it. And I've also got my Christmas list in there. And then because I was working on my list, and to-do lists. I've got them somewhat multicolored for different levels of to-do, trying to get more organized. Big project now is cleaning a lot of stuff up and out of a closet. So what did I use to hold the notes and some more pens? Was a can koozie from our South Carolina trip. Work document, that's fair. And then actually in here in this main sleeve, it does up here, I don't know if you can see it, have like this elastic thing. So as long as you don't have anything heavy up top, you could use that for like sunglasses or something. And then hopefully the last thing in here, usually I carry my mouse in this. This is the small Tomtoc tech case. Definitely have other things in here. So it's useful. This belongs here. These two belong here. This belongs here. Yeah, some of the rest of this stuff is just overkill. I don't need 50 pens or how many ever I got in here, but I usually put the mouse in here, but since this Corel is really struggling with what do I do with the power brick, since this holds the power brick and then I had the room for the mouse and that, I just put everything into here. And then let's dig down to the bottom. All right, nothing more. So, I mean, this stuff all packs up really easy. I'm gonna actually put these two things up here because, you know, hey, like I said, this is a little embarrassing because it's just have a spot. It's not quite as bad as I thought, but it's still, you have room, must fill it. So there we go. And then in here, generally there is a tablet sleeve in here. And then actually, believe it or not, all I have in here is my laptop and a folder for documents. So yeah, if you've stuck around this long, if you can give me a like and subscribe, it'd be much appreciated. But I probably, like anybody, if you give me room, I mean, this thing is packed to the gills. I think it's well thought out how it's packed. But this bag is almost, my other bag didn't have enough room and it was awkward. This bag has way too much room. And guess what? I'm filling it out, making it heavy. It started out when I first used it, it was super light. Now it's a lug to carry. So I need to do some work to get it pared down, figure out what I really need, maybe cut down on a few pens, and call it good. Yeah, hope you enjoyed, and take care everyone, and hopefully this microphone's working well.